the Christmas stuff because my screen is all red and y'all talk is blue, is green.
I don't know what my color is looking like. It's bright back here, so it's like a I don't know what color it is, but at least I look a little light. That's cool.
Yeah, man, you look good, man.
I look
Hey,
a little light.
man, we're gonna talk about this
Hey,
Cowboys. It's episode 13. We're gonna get things going. We're gonna let that room fill up. Thank everybody for tuning in. It's gutter, like my boy
gutter,
Big Game
gutter.
J. Gutter,
Yeah,
gutter, gutter.
I do is gutter, gutter right here.
Big Game, why you
BGJ.
talking, man? Tell them where they can find you at and all this good stuff.
Hey man, you know where you can check me out. Check me out right now on Facebook. Big Game James. Check out that Big Game James page, Silver and Blue Nation. Every Sunday we go on 3:30 p.m. to 5 Eastern time. It's talk all Cowboys football, interactive talk. Call in. You get your name out there. You know how we do. We talking Cowboys football all day, all night. Also YouTube. Instagram, Twitter, Silver and Blue Nation. Make sure you check it out. And as I said before on the last time we talked law, I'm getting this YouTube page together. I don't know if it's going to be Big Game James. It might be Slim Fit Nooker.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's gutter, gutter, gutter all the way.
Slim
And
Fit Nooker.
and on top of that, the Facebook. Tell them how to rate you and all that good stuff too as well, man.
Oh
About the
well,
feeling that.
I'm not trying to even be funny, and please don't take this wrong. But if you're not giving me a 5, you don't really got to give a rating. That's how we do it with Silver Blue Nation. We need 5s, baby. We trying to give you the best, going hard all day, all night, posting all day, all night. Law, you know how we do. So you can check when you go onto the page, you can see the reviews up top, or you can and give a review. Give it a 5 star. You know why?
Yes,
Because I
indeed.
try to give 5 star product. I'm up all day, all night trying to give y'all the best Cowboys all day. And then I bang with you, Law. You know how we kind of flow off each other. And then DDP with Dallas Prospect. We all kind of flow it like a nice little 18. We kind of see which either where we posting, and you'll have some good content on yours. And I'll be looking, I'm like, ooh, that's some good stuff. I just seen with the Willie McGinnis that you
Hmm.
posted with the top 10 sacks. And then, I might throw something that you might like, what I'm saying, that you didn't post. So I like how we do. We intertwine, and I might be talking too much, but hey, I said we the Voltron
No,
right now.
no, man. You got to do your thing, man. So it's late at night. Everybody know that we don't like the Cowboys. We love them.
We
We
love them.
talk we
Ice
talk from
House.
A to Z. Yes, Ice House in the building. So hey,
Y'all don't know nothing about
I
that
don't
Ice
know if
House.
DDP, man. I don't know whether or not you still setting it up, but you can just
Yeah.
tell them where they can find you at if you can.
Yeah, you guys can check me out at the dallasprospect.com. Also, like us on Facebook. We're growing the audience too, man. I think both the YouTube channel and the Facebook page are both right around 600 likes, subscribers, respectively. But yeah, I mean, we're constantly hard at work on doing stuff, not just in the Cowboys realm as well, but
Yes,
last
they got
night,
all kind of stuff popping over there.
yeah, man, like
I
last
like
night
it. Yesterday, I like it.
Yeah, we had a cool interview with a local Dallas band, interview and live streams their acoustic set last night on the channel. That was really cool. Those guys are awesome. Dark Avenue, if you guys haven't heard them, anyone listening on the stream, they are legit.
Yes, indeed. You guys check them out, man. I'm talking about good music, acoustic, live, get you into the groove of jumping around, getting around. You guys know how that goes. So neither here nor there. Let's jump off at the top of the news. Malik
Mm,
Collins.
yeah.
Break it down for me, big game. What happened?
I didn't get the gist of it because it was kind of late how to happen. I seen the article with Stephen Jones saying to get prepared for Malik Collins, and then they said he was doing workouts and he hurt his foot. I think it's the fifth metatarsal, that's not kind of good because that's a kind of long injury. I know is it the same broken foot from when his rookie year? Um, it's tough because he had such a great rookie year. We were looking for him to take that next step, and he just didn't do it last year. But I think it was because he was playing out of position too. He's a 3 tech guy. If you look at his body type, he's not built for a 1 tech, and he had to play out of there at a necessity because we didn't have the depth that we needed. And you saw his play really suffer, and you couldn't see what he really could do because he's that guy that can really rush the passer and get in that backfield. Now you have an injury like this, what kind of sets him back because you got Dayton Jones, you got David Irvin that can slide in there. You got that Price kid. You got the Richard Ash. You got guys that Tyrone Crawford can still slide in there. You got different guys that can slide in there. So I just think it hurts him because we want to see him have that bounce back year because this was a down year for him. So it just kind of is frustrating because I really wanted to see Malik Collins take that get back to that level he was his rookie year. And now you have an injury like this. It's just like, what are you really going to see out of him this year going forward?
No doubt. So maybe it's a good deal for him to break his foot because the last time he broke his foot, he was showing up and showing out. So maybe
true story.
Not trying to say you're trying to wish ill on somebody, but
right.
Hopefully he can get those things together. DDP, man, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, this is his third straight year with some kind of foot injury. So the guy is a good player for sure. I mean, it's definitely a blow, even though we've got good depth along the defensive line. I feel like defensive tackle, I know they're looking at bringing in Terrell McClain, and I want them to. But at the same time, I'm not thrilled with the idea of losing Malik Collins for any extended period of time, and that's probably what we're looking at. We're probably looking at him missing six regular season games.
Give or take on how the foot was broken. Some people say it was the same foot injury. He should be ready for the start of the season. Some people say that.
Yeah, it's tough. Foot injuries are tough, though.
Yeah. So the thing is with this, you brought up the name. What's his name?
McClain.
Mm-hmm. The thing is with this, man, just
you want you want that big sloppy body like Hankins.
I want that big nasty sloppy body.
But why isn't nobody taking him though? Nobody is touching him though. There's got to be a reason.
Maybe because they don't want to give up a compensatory pick. They got to wait till after May the 12th.
Right.
I think that's the problem. That's the issue there. Maybe that's the problem. But in theory, you want your linebackers to fly out to the ball, right? You want your linebackers to have better production. You get that from the big front four. The big guy that's in the plug, that nose tackle, that guy that can line up over the center, that can push and penetrate the pocket. Right. We all look back at the Ray Lewis's career. Not saying that we got a Ray Lewis on our team, but Ray Lewis was able to fly out and fly free. We got a finesse front four, and there's nothing wrong with finesse. And it's just like this. My only deal is, you ate nachos and cheese dip before, and you always got that one person with the chip. You supposed to get one damn scoop, right? But sometimes people get that one scoop, bite it, and then they try to take another scoop. It's like, nah, dog, you don't do that around here, not in this house. That's what the Cowboys doing with the McClain. You take you bite off the chip, you put it back, and now you're trying to take that same chip and bite off again. I don't like that.
Okay. I feel what you're saying.
That's why you take one side, then you flip it to the other side that hadn't been. I don't know how to make
your finger still on the other side of the chip.
I don't know how to make the analogy work per se for McClain. I don't know how you flip that and make it work, but
listen, he was with us a couple years. He had injuries. We never really got to see what he can do, and he was young when he came over with us. He didn't play. Even then, when you saw him in spurts, he played good for us. When he actually was healthy a whole year. I mean, yes, he doesn't have the girth. He's a 300, maybe 297, but he doesn't have the girth that's going to just swallow two tacklers. He's not that guy. But when he did play that one tech with Malik Collins, I mean, he was very good with it. He was good with it. And the reason why I'm pumping him is because I know the Cowboys aren't even going to look at Hankins. So it's like no point for me to kind of get excited because I'm going to live in reality. Like, we can make posts, but we can also have to look in reality. Like, you can sit there and say, hey, well, we want to get Navarro Bowman, but are we really going to get him? So that's why I'm not going to keep posting no damn Navarro Bowman when I know we probably ain't going to get him, because when Stephen Jones says we're okay with something, then we ain't touching nobody. And that's fact now.
Yeah, it's just that, I love the 90s, and I hate to say I'm going back to the 90s, but the Russell Maryland was everything.
But how big was Russell Maryland? Like, what, 310?
Back in those days, good and well, 310 back in those days is equivalent to 320, 350 right now.
Right. But he was still never dominant with us. Man. Russell, his biggest sack year was 4.5 sacks.
That's good coming off that middle, because you're not going to get a lot.
But we had other big guys with him. We had Leon Lett. He was huge. We had Jimmy Jones. Was it Jones? And then you had Tony Tolbert.
Tony, yeah, that's the guy.
Greg Ellis. I don't know if he came in at that time, but you had a line of those guys that Casillas, Tony Casillas, Charles Haley, Tony Casillas, even remember Charles Henning. I mean, from Air Force, the one go. So we had a lot of guys that could do it, but they had girth with them too. So I don't know. Remember the Price kid that we got from Green Bay?
Yeah.
He tore his knee up after like the second game. He actually started stepping up and being that guy that could stuff the middle. People don't talk about him, but he's a solid 340-pound guy. He's 6'2", 340 pounds. He actually Hash is a big guy, but he came on toward the end. But I'm telling you, the Price kid started showing out, but he got hurt. I think we should kind of look at him because we take Green Bay guys. You know how teams take from us? We tend to go after these Green Bay guys, and I think the reason why we go after them because Green Bay has good players. And when they come over to us, I mean, we got the Thomas kid too. He played with them as well.
We had Jay Elliott, and we cut him
and hard. J-Ron Elliott as well.
Yeah, we cut him. You know,
so we get those Green Bay players, and a lot of them are defensively.
But you know what it feels like to me? You ever seen those sugar smacks that you eat? You know, the cornflakes. You reach down in there and that's that little piece
of Sugar Bear right now?
Yeah, Sugar Bear. You know that little piece of toy that's at the bottom of that Cracker Jack box, all those little bitty pieces of toys. Instead of going to Walmart, instead of going out to somewhere buying your own toy, we reaching for these little snowflake, small little toys that's in the bottom of the cornflake bowl or cornflake box. We need to stop trying to fix this defense with spare parts as it relates to the defensive tackle or their front four. They should have drafted somebody. That's all I have to say.
I agree with that. I will say that. I will definitely say that we definitely should have got a true one tech that was a big guy. But, you know, like I said, they don't value it. They should, because when you look at teams, only thing I need to go to is them damn Eagles and the Giants, and then you see the Redskins getting via. I mean, that's going to be a problem because at the end of the day, when it's a 3rd and 3, and you got one of them big sloppies in there, and they can take up 2 tacklers, you hit Ezekiel Elliott, they get hit in that backfield. And one of the problems that we had with them damn Giants was that front four, particularly that middle with snacks.
Yes, indeed, and one could argue the fact that even the Sheagles or the Philadelphia, however you want to call them,
they got a good front four.
They got a good front four, but what really propelled them last year was actually they going out and getting Timmy Jerrigan, whatever his name is, a big haul
from Baltimore.
Baltimore,
and they got him for the cheap.
Nasty plug. See, we can go get us.
We could have got him.
We could have got him, but we don't value the defensive tackle, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's just probably my only little rant about this defense altogether. And then also we can also argue about the safety. You know, a lot of people saying that, trust the process with X Woods. What happened in week 3? X Woods snap up all this stuff. Not trying to say I wish ill will on anybody. Not trying to say I'm speaking these things to existence. But then who's going to be the other veteran guy that you're going to put out there? You know, you can say that for any 31 other teams, but still, we have to figure out a way to have some type of veteran leadership out there. If not, what happened if Xavier Woods have a quote unquote Anthony Brown type of sophomore slump type of year? Then what we'd do, you know, or Cheeto Bear Woozier or Jordan Lewis, anybody, you know, we got to have some type of veteran leadership out there. Just one, not saying you go out there and get 5 people, just get one.
You know what? I mean, you're really speaking the unadulterated, is that the word? Unadulterated truth right now? I mean, you're speaking real truth. I mean, injuries for us, it's just kind of like our cornerback situation, right? Which we are sitting pretty because you got Marquez White, Duke Thomas coming back, and I think those guys are both good players. Mm-hmm. But I really think, you know, when we talked Tuesday, Law, those guys that we've been looking at, the Robinsons, the Cameron Kelly, those guys that I think they really value those guys and I get it because they're rookies.
There's the toys at the bottom of their cornflakes box. Keep going.
Right. I feel you. So I get what you're saying because we're getting undrafted free agents and trying to patch it together and trying to make it work being cheap. And it may come back to bite us when you're playing a really good team that has those top-notch players. And when you need to make those plays, that's why those guys get drafted high, because they do make those plays. I mean, you can look across the board. But I will say this as far as the safety position goes. I wrote the article on Kayvon Frazier. Make sure you check that out. I am kind of trying to believe in him. I do believe in him because, like I said, I didn't know his combine numbers were like that. His combine numbers were phenomenal. And when you really watched him play at the strong safety position, people always say, oh, he can't cover. But if you really watch tape, he hasn't played a lot of plays where you can really watch him cover. So people just get enamored with saying, oh, Kayvon Frazier is a strong safety. He's limited. He went to Central Michigan. He's limited. He can't cover. And they put him in a box. But Frazier is saying, I can cover. I can do this. And when you watch tape, like I said, I went back and watched that Washington game after I wrote the article. He was all in that backfield. And Kayvon Frazier can tackle. You don't see people getting past him. When he comes up in there, he makes plays. We had a guy named Barry Church who played with us for a long time, and I thought Barry Church was good for us. I could see Kayvon Frazier stepping in and being in that type role. I think where we need to really address is the free safety position. I don't know if they're going to touch the Earl Thomas thing because of the money. Yeah. But if you can get somebody else, maybe try to do it. But I feel you, Law. But, I think Stephen Jones and them are like, you know what? I like our guys, and we're just going to let them compete. Maybe I don't kind of like that all the way because, like you said, Law, I like to have that veteran type guy that can come in and lead, and these guys kind of follow because it's young across the board. But maybe some of these guys step up. But the way it looks like with Stephen Jones and them is that they're going to kind of keep rolling with these young dudes and let them grow.
And then watch what? They're going to double dip, bring J.J. Wilcox back in the house. Gonna be like,
if they bring J.J. Wilcox back in, I'm going to be mad as hell because – we was talking. Remember, I think Okoye now he can listen to this, so I make sure I ain't talking about his back. He said J.J. Wilcox was okay, and I said J.J. Wilcox sucks. And I'm gonna say it again. J.J. Wilcox sucks.
There you go. And then we can find a few clips out there of him laying the wood and all this stuff.
But I can find him leaving us, going to two teams, and now he's out of football.
There you go, DDP man. What's your thoughts, man?
Are you really eating that ice cream right in front of me? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, I don't have anything. No, I think the Cowboys, with regard to, I would have liked to have seen them address either safety or defensive tackle in the draft. Obviously, they made the trade that they did involving Switzer, so they did make some kind of move there with Ward, and I'm curious to see what we can get out of him. He's got only one career sack, but it doesn't look like he really played much in 2017. I don't know if that was the result. Okay, that's what I assumed, just because it didn't look like he played a lot of games. But yeah, so I don't mind that pick. I would have rather drafted a guy, but I guess with I don't know, maybe the move made sense with it being Switzer over Beasley, only in the sense that other teams maybe looked at Beasley's contract and age and just weren't as swayed by it, as opposed to Switzer at least being on a rookie deal if you're taking a flyer. But all the same, I would have liked to have seen them do something else at safety, but they didn't. So you just have to address it in one of two ways. You either have to reevaluate what's there in free agency, in which at this point we've had a lot of the best stuff combed over. They're not going to look at. Well, yeah, exactly. They're not going to look at. They're not going to look at a guy like Reed from San Francisco. They've made that clear. They're not interested. I don't even know if Kenny Vaccaro is still on the market, but they've said they're not interested there either. So if they're not going to do that, the only thing they're going to look at is the young guys they got, and they're just going to trust it. And last year with all the young cornerbacks they had, for a stretch of the season there early on, it was a little rough, but by the end of the year, they were kind of gelling. So maybe a year of extra development for Kayvon Frazier really getting to play, maybe that will have a big impact to his production and what he can bring to the table. So we could be looking at it a year from now and saying, Earl Thomas is absolutely a nice thing if you can get it, but maybe it's not so essential anymore. That's the ideal, but we'll see if that actually happens, right?
No doubt. And I just look back at the other teams that won the Super Bowl. We can look at the Eagles. They went out and got a Ron Darby. Then you can look at the year prior to that, the Super Bowl. Who was the New England Patriots, right? Did they win the Super Bowl prior to that, right?
Patriots.
Mhm.
Yeah, Patriots, Falcons.
They went out and made off-season moves, and then the year before that, we look at the Denver Broncos, what they did when they got Talib. Then we look at the New England Patriots when they went and got a Revis. And you look at the year before that, even when you talk about the Seattle Seahawks when they went out and ultimately won the Super Bowl. What did they do? They guys wasn't all homegrown. The Bennett's of the world, he was Cliff Avery, was all these guys was acquisitions to being picked up. Even Beast Mode, he was an acquisition being picked up. So if we have the mindset of saying that, okay, we're going to grow our own team and we're going to win the Super Bowl that way, well, just wait. As they say in military terms, hurry up and wait, because we've been waiting for almost over 25 years. We're going to 25 years waiting for us that ultimate chance of us winning the Super Bowl. And it's just been year after year after year after year that we all of a sudden said, okay, we trust in the process. What the hell are we trying to make with this 20 to 25-year-old process? What are we trying to make?
I mean, I don't really have no words of that. Those are strong words. Those are tough words. Those are almost like you're talking to a coach right now, like you're putting them on blast. Like, I can't really come at that and answer that. The only thing I can say to that is, it's when we say trust the process, it's just like you said, Law. If we don't have these top players, what I worry about is that I don't mind, having young players, and building through the draft. I do like to get a few good veterans, but my problem is with the coaching. You can have all these players that you want. You can have the best players you want. You could get an Earl Thomas. Right, let's say you trade and get an Earl Thomas. That don't matter worth a hell if the coach can't get you to a damn Super Bowl. So it don't matter what kind of damn players you get. You can get the best. I mean, don't let Bryce Butler leave us and go to the Cardinals and show out. That's going to say we didn't use him. How many times have players left us and we didn't utilize them? We underutilized them. They go somewhere else and they're successful.
Unless they go to Washington.
Well, except Washington, because they have a sucky-ass owner and a terrible-ass coach. So when you have that, that's a mix for disaster. So we'll throw them out the equation. But when you look at our players who don't go to Washington, there's been a lot of players that have left us and been very successful in the league, and they played on winning teams. And that gets frustrating because, like I said, we can get all these great players we want to, but if the coaches ain't doing shit, we ain't going to a damn Super Bowl no matter what. And that's my problem. If we're going to cut Dez Bryant, if we're going to get rid of these other players, then make sure that you got this evaluation on Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan, and them, Stephen Jones, and make sure that at the end of the year, if they don't do what they need to do, that you're evaluating them and saying, guess what? We're going to go ahead and move on from you and put somebody else in the fold because it's been too damn long. And he said himself, it's been a very long time since we touched some Super Bowl. So if we've been saying that, then let's do it now and let's not talk about it.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, I do understand that, the philosophy had changed within the last 6 years or 7 years. They got Will McClay. He is methodically moving through the draft. It seems to me, just from me standing from the outside in, it seems like he don't really have his say until like the third or fourth round. For me looking at that board of all or nothing when they're talking about the Paxton Lynch situation, I was like, where in the hell is Will McClay at this point to tell
he don't have that ultimate
to sit
say.
Down? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to sit down
say.
somewhere.
You feel me?
You sure right. You 1,000% right on that. So, I mean, moving forward, man, with this, and we can really go all the way down every Super Bowl within the last 6 or 7 years, and we can see, not saying that you sell the form on all the free agencies, but you still have to pick that one or two guy,
Law,
to help your team
I just
out.
want to ask you a real live question.
Ask
you a real live question. Is Jason Garrett taking Dallas Cowboys to a Super Bowl? Yes or no?
No. It's
yes or no?
No. I don't see it for the simple fact that now if he do, I want him to prove me wrong.
That's what I'm saying, and I've been saying that too. I want him to prove me wrong, and I said it. Producer G tried to bust me out one day on the show. We was talking offside the show, and I was like, Jason Garrett ain't taking us to a Super Bowl. He came on the show and was like, hey, you said Jason Garrett wasn't going to take us to a Super Bowl. He said it, and I was like, oh, you going to try to bust me out? I said, yeah, I said it, and I ain't backing off from it. And it's not like I don't want him to succeed. It's not like I don't want him to do good. I want you to succeed because I want to keep continuity with the organization. I don't want people getting fired. I want people to stay with the organization, win some damn Super Bowls, and keep it moving like we don't have to worry about nothing. But I don't care. It's 8 damn years. And just like we talked about Law a couple days ago, just because we saw the video and Jason Garrett is saying 32 F this and F that, that don't mean crap when you only won one playoff game. So just because I'm cussing and yelling at you don't mean that's effective. Don't mean that's getting through to no players. And that don't mean nobody's respecting you just because you said F you to me 4 times.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. It's just something about this right here. And we can see it with our own natural eyes. Throw records out. Just throw personalities out. Get out the emotions. Get the feelings out. It's just something about when you see like a game changer. Like, let's just talk about just athletics alone, right? When Michael Jordan got the ball, and it's going to transition to another sport. It's just something about that night that you're going to say to yourself, they're going to win.
They're going to win.
Just like when LeBron James, when he was like, everybody was like, okay, Toronto going to beat them down. But it was just something about that next gear that he can switch it around and say, okay, I'm going to will myself to win this game. And, I don't see that out of Jason Garrett. Name me, if anybody in the chat box, anybody out here in the nation can just name me, just give me 5 games that Jason Garrett just pull out of his,
won. He
won just by pure coaching, by pure strategy, pure just like, okay, we're going to put everything, we're going to put our cojones on the line, and we're going to ram it up, you know what, and we're going to win this game come hell and high waters. Just name me 5, give me 5 good games. It's been, 8 years now?
You only got 2 seasons they're going to use. They're going to use 2014 and 2016 because that's the only time he won.
Right, but was any of that though Garrett, or was that just having
that was team? Talent? That was having Ezekiel Elliott, and that was having those guys, and then that was having Tony Romo when he was healthy, dominant, and having one of the best offensive lines in football. And just like it's been said time and time again with Jason Garrett, he does great when everything goes right. Yep. Jason Garrett is a great coach, or he's a good coach when everything is going right. But as soon as something goes wrong, you always see us fall apart. And I don't give a hell if you're a real long-time Dallas Cowboys fan, and I'm a damn long-time Dallas Cowboy fan since them damn 70s, so I know. So don't you tell me nothing. And I know for a damn fact that the Dallas Cowboys win a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that when we watch our Cowboys play, we all start having that feeling in the third quarter. If that game is tight, we're going to lose. Don't sit there and tell me, you Cowboys fans, don't see when it's a tight game going in the fourth quarter, we're going to do something to drive. It's just something going to happen, and we're just going to lose because we don't know how to win those games. And guess what? It showed its ugly head again last year.
Atlanta, especially.
San Diego, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yep.
Where else can we go? Seattle. That's 4 games that we're 9-7. That's 4 games that makes us 13-3 again. And that's because of coaching. So I don't want to hear them always yelling at players when Jason Garrett needs to step the hell up and get us over the damn hump. I don't want to hear his damn excuses anymore. I don't want to hear his philosophies about nothing. I want to get to a damn Super Bowl, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of other people talking trash about my team. I'm tired of everybody when I get into an argument with them, the first thing that comes out their mouth is 20 freaking years. 2 playoff wins, 20 years. That's their only damn argument against me, and I can't say crap. And when they say, your coach sucks, how do I back them when I agree?
I'm trying to think. The only teams with a longer drought for at least a conference championship game are Detroit, Cleveland, and who's the other one? There's one more team, but it's like the Cowboys are one of 4 teams.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Redskins we're talking like a 20-year window. Yeah. So yes, of the 4 teams in that case, in like a 20-year window to not at least make it to the conference title game, Dallas is one of them. And we're down there with like the freaking Lions and Browns and Redskins.
Exactly. Are you listening to what you're saying, DDP? The Lions.
I'm the one saying it.
Bears. The Browns.
Yeah.
Are
Bears
you
made a
serious?
Super Bowl. Yeah.
The Bears have been to a Super Bowl before us with Rex Grossman.
Yep.
Think about that. Rex Grossman.
Look, I kid you not. I'm breaking down Cedric Wilson tape, right? And then I'm breaking it all the way down to the point where I'm saying I'm gonna look at his father, because they say his father played football for the National Football League.
I think his dad was pretty good. Did he play with the Niners?
No, his daddy played with this the Steelers. They won a Super Bowl. Ben Roethlisberger passed him the ball.
Wow.
Cedric Wilson, we've been losing so long for so many years that this guy had enough time to have a child.
And have him on our
have Ben Roethlisberger pass him the ball for Cedric Wilson to catch the ball to win the game. They played in Cincinnati Bengals, caught 2 passes, to have a son old enough now to play on his team. You see what I'm saying? We've been waiting for that long. So I do know that the Garrett apologist is going to say, well, hey, we got to trust the process. It's never his fault. But sometimes I believe in the slight chances of sometimes you just hit with a bad luck, you know. All his life, you got a guy, DDP, that wrote out all his statistics and all of his achievements and his awards and what he did throughout his entire life. And if you guys can read that article, you guys going to hear me just saying, I'm not putting this out of my you-know-what. The guy just been average his whole entire life on any level. Now, he's a good guy as far as probably a strategist, as far as thinking, as far as about putting plays together. Maybe he's that good in that aspect of it. But as far as being a leader of man, a leader of coaching out there, putting people in the right positions, he's just not that guy. We just trying to make a watermelon turn into a grape. It's just not going to happen. Or a grape turn into a watermelon. It's just not going to happen. I'm talking all type of foods today. You know?
I'm making me want to eat some watermelon.
But nepotism and cronyisms, all these things put a major stamp on his team, and by you doing that, I just don't see it. And I promise you guys, if he proved me wrong, then I have another video saying that, hey, I was wrong. But 9 times out of 10,
you was right.
I'm closer to being right than wrong. You know?
I like hearing that. Say it with confidence. Say it with your chest, Big Law.
Yes, indeed, man. So, with that being said, man, moving on from Jason Garrett, you know,
let me leave him alone.
Leave him alone. We're gonna leave him alone. But what can we do to make this team better? What can we do to make it to the playoffs?
Well, Dak Prescott has got to have a huge year. I think, you know, to me, if you look at our offense, you know, I think Connor Williams is going to take that spot and run with it at the left guard position. I think we're going to be okay offensively. I like the Schultz kid. I don't know what the hell is going on with Rico, so I can't really speak on him. I think the Jarwin kid is going to, as long as he stays healthy, I think he's really going to show up. But I really feel like the offense, I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to have a big year. I think he's going to have a huge year.
Going to run the ball 30 times a game.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a huge year. He's going to be clear-minded. I think he wants to prove to everybody. I think people forgot about Zeke in his own mind because he has that self-motivation. So I think he's going to have a big year. But I think it comes down to Dak Prescott. We're going to be seeing what Dak Prescott is going to do, because those defenses at the end of the day are still going to load up that box because they know Ezekiel Elliott is our biggest threat on the team right now. It's not Dak Prescott, it's Ezekiel Elliott. No. And people are going to say Dak Prescott beat us. And they're going to do it every single game until he can prove that, you know what, hey, he's stepped his game up, he's matured, and he's ready to take that next level. And that's what our offense is going to come down to. It's a critical year for Dak Prescott because it's year 3 going into year 4. He has to get now they're talking money now. It's all in the news. 30 million, 40 million. Stephen Jones, we want to play Dak Prescott what he's worth. You know, we want to pay him. So Dak Prescott's, I don't give a hell what he says. Dak Prescott is reading them articles. 30, 40 million. He trying to get paid too. So Dak Prescott got a ball out, man, and it's all on him. The way the Cowboys go is because of Dak Prescott, and I'm telling you that's the truth.
Yeah, no doubt. You can't pay him. I mean, they're going to pay him. That's clear. But you definitely can't overpay. I mean, if we're looking at a season something like this past season, he's not worthy of a $30 million a year contract.
That's why you got Mike White too.
Exactly, and I would argue if he had a season like this, if they were to extend him, he's not even worth $20 million a year. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of good to him in terms of his characteristics, his mentality, and leadership. You can win with him, but he's not going to be your primary weapon if you win with him. He's better than a game manager to me. Like, I don't view him as like a Trent Dilfer or anyone like that, or a Brad Johnson. He's not that. But he's still a guy who he can make some plays, but he's not your primary weapon. That's why you have Zeke. That's why you have, some of these other skill positions and all that. And you have the offensive line to protect him. You allow him to work in that regard. I mean, last year, the last 8 games when he fell apart, you had the 6 games with Zeke suspended, and then you had Tyron Smith and all of his issues with his back. The entire final 8 games of the season, Zeke and Smith played a total of 3 snaps on the field together.
Wow.
So we're ripping Dak for him falling apart. He lost his best offensive lineman, his blindside protector, and he lost an all-pro running back through whom the offense is built and designed to run. So I feel like some of the criticism he gets is a little unwarranted, just because if you look at his stats prior to all of that, if you look at his first year and a half resume and not just the last 8 games, it's a lot more impressive than what we saw.
So why is the hate on Dak? Because everybody loved him in 2016. Why are they hating on him? I mean, why do y'all think they really hate him? Because, I mean, they really hate him. Like, it went from – it's kind of crazy to me, and it's frustrating me. I posted something on my Twitter how – and I'm going to just keep reading on like out of here what I'm saying, Cowboys fans. I said, some of our Cowboys fans, we really suck as a fan base at times, because it's sad to me that we get a quarterback. We have Romo, and I love Romo, but he didn't win with us. There was plenty of times he did a lot, and there was times that he had big letdowns. Let's not act like there was not. Yeah. So when Romo, we all have been wondering weren't we all wondering when Romo was playing, are we ever going to get somebody behind him? Are we ever going to get somebody behind him? We were always trying to do that. And then we finally get the guy that we think that might be behind him. He comes in, has a good year. We're like, yes, okay, we might have that future. He doesn't have a terrible year last year. We act like he threw 20 interceptions and had 13 touchdowns. We're acting like he threw for 1,900 yards, and we act like he played terrible. He still threw over 63% of it, completed 63% of his passes. The league norm is around 63, 64, and he's still over that as a career. We all knew he's not going to throw 4,000 yards a year. We knew that. Everybody had to know that when they drafted him out of Mississippi State, he was not going to be that quarterback. He's not that type of quarterback. He's not that guy. But he has those leadership traits. He has those things. You can see – I could see him winning a Super Bowl because of the other stuff. Not just the game, what he does on the field. I feel like he is a leader. You don't become a captain on the team and by your peers and you're not a leader. They're not doing that just because. I know y'all play sports. I play sports. I'm not voting somebody a captain if you suck.
True that.
So they have to have some kind of level of respect.
57 touchdowns, 15 picks. Yeah, I mean the numbers even
the numbers
produce
aren't saying he's terrible. We just are having this such expectation for him because of what Romo had did. But folks, Romo didn't win us nothing.
I know, man. But
I love Romo, but he didn't win us nothing, man. It's over. So we got to move on. Romo is gone. I told you, if you ever watch Menace to Society, please watch it. When Kane's cousin got shot, he was laying on the ground. And they was all like, let's leave. We got to leave. He's like, nah, man, I got to stay. Like I said, hey, old dog came up to me and said, hey, he dead. We leaving. He dead.
He gone, man.
We got to move on. Let the Romo thing go. Let's believe in Prescott. And if he doesn't do it this year, okay. Guess what? We might have to go on to the next. But at least let's have some support for him.
Man, speaking the truth on that, man. I do know a lot of people get into their feelings about this Romo situation, and I punched many of holes in the wall. I defended the man almost into fisticuff with a lot of people about this Romo character. And we do know that 2012 was a win and go home game, and those 3 interceptions he threw against the Washington. I mean, I can never erase that out of my mind. And then I go back to listen to some of the most. Yeah,
we got like 4 of those to pick from.
Yeah, right. I got a whole deck of cards I can pick from, but everybody forget about that.
The December swoon.
Yeah. Everybody goes directly to 2014, and then they go to, hey, you know, if Romo would have played in 16, we would have won the Super Bowl. That whole talk about this Romo guy, and it shoulda, coulda, woulda, and we've been saying the same thing over and over and over again. So it's just been beat into our mental that, hey, Tony Romo was a god, that he can pass better than Joe Montana if he was given the right tools. So, I mean,
it's 4 out of 4 years.
Right.
Romo had a significant injury. So he missed the final game of the regular season 2013, the win in your end against the Redskins. He missed that one, or not against the Redskins. It was against the Eagles. His last game was the Redskins, where he threw the game winner with basically a broken back.
It was a broken back.
So he missed that. Then in 2014, he only missed 1 game, but he had the fractured transverse process, I think it was, in his back. Because of the London game. He got a 10-day break, and he was back from that. 2015, 2 broken collarbones, missed something like 9 games, 10 games, something to that effect. And then, 3 snaps into his first preseason game, 2016, another fracture in his back. 4 out of 4 years. Why do people still think he could, like, if he was only here? If he took 1 of the hits that Dak Prescott took against Atlanta, he would have been broken in half.
And we all know that. And you can't tell me, DDP, just as you say all that, and you said it so great, and it was so lovely how you put that together. Just want to let you know that. But we all knew that coming into after 2015, when we came into 2016, you can't tell me every Cowboy fan was sitting on edge when he came in, because we all knew if Romo got hit one time that right way, it was over.
Yep. And that was the first hit he took in 2016.
It was over.
Yeah, man, it's a sad career, man. Although, you know, have all the talents in the world and just never been able to just stay healthy. And that's just a big thing. You know, we got a quarterback that somehow he stayed healthy for the first 2 years. You know, this is his 3rd year. Of course, a lot of people saying that he can't hit water. Too. He's a lot bigger, stronger guy. You know, he can run when the pressure.
He's a big boy.
Big boy. But I do know a lot of people, they just don't like it. Maybe it's the xenophobia. Maybe it's the fear of the unknown. You know, maybe it's that. I don't know. You know, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Maybe it's that too as well. They seeing what they seeing is that a quarterback can't pass out of the pocket, inside the pocket. They seeing a quarterback that can't read the defense. But I'm telling you guys, hey, he's a 4th round draft pick, and not even the first 4th round, the second 4th round draft pick out of our team. And then also with that, if you couple that with the aspect of all of the ups and downs that we have, and then we don't have I'm not going to say the coach, because I'm not going to get off of the coach aspect of it, but we don't have a coach that pretty much can just drill in the focus point of the team. You know, I do know there's other tangibles. I saw some people in the comments saying, well, wait a minute, he does cause X's and O's, and every team have actually a scheme or schematic or a process. Yeah, I do understand that too as well. But have you ever played spades or put it like this? I drive a fast car. My car fast. But if you have a kid that's 12 and 11 years old, not trying to just humble brag, you know, but if they don't know how to handle their car, of course my car is still fast. The ability of the car is still fast, but still at the same time, if the kid don't know how to drive the car, then he just don't know how to drive the car. He might have possession. He may have possession of the car, but he don't know how to gear it. You take it out for shift, bite down on the gear and hit the set. You know what I'm saying? When you're on the stretch, he may not know how to do that. Or, man, big game, you played spades before.
Yes, sir.
You ever played that spade with nobody? They got seven spades in their pocket. You know, they got all the face cards, and they saying, "Oh man, I'm going 2 in the push."
I got 2 because they scared.
They scared, man. You got scared. Joker, deuce, man. Go on, run that thing.
They don't know how to count nothing. They count cards. They say, "I got 2 in a possible, got 7."
Yes, indeed. So
I got 2 in a possible, 7 books.
I mean, you can go play Uno with them, and they probably kick some tail, but they just know how to play spade. So a spade is a spade. That's why we say a spade is a spade. So I'm calling it a spade is a spade. Everybody have excuses. Everybody have reasonings, right? But I always say this: results is what matter. Your results on the field. Everybody have a reason. There's a guy right now that one leg, he still graduated. You see what I'm saying? There's a guy right now with no shoes, no running water. He still made it to the Olympics. You got to figure out a way to change your reasonings and have these results to what matter. You see what I'm saying? Everybody born with some type of ailment. Everybody born with some type of condition. Every 32 teams out there have some type of situation going on. But it's up to the coach to elevate everybody in that team and look the person in the eye and say, hey, you drop that pass one more time, I'm going to put your ass on the bench. Drop it one more time. You know what I'm saying? Drop it. You late for this. You late for this meeting. You late for this meeting. Man, okay, you can go home. You know what I'm saying? You can go home. You don't have to come to this meeting. You can go somewhere else because you don't want to practice today. We need that type of fire. We need that type of brimstone out there, and put that fire and brimstone out there to even was it Gary Brown? I was looking at the All or Nothing. Oh, I guess Ezekiel Elliott. He's going through a lot of things right now. I don't know how to really approach him. Man, bullshit.
You don't know how to approach him.
You don't know how to approach him. You look Ezekiel Elliott in the face and say, look.
Hey, you better straighten up. I don't give a hell who you are. You better get it together because you ain't going to have a career.
Ezekiel Elliott need a coach to look him right in his eyes and say,
people
hey.
respect that.
I understand that you being ridiculed, cast aspersions on, slandered. Your name has been thrown through the mud. But look here, this is football, baby. And if either you want to play or I'm gonna have Rod Smith to take your positioning. That's just the bottom line. You see what I'm saying? Now you sit down here. If you've been late one more time, I'm gonna show you what NFL suspension is all about. You see what I'm saying?
We don't have that.
We don't have no guy to do that. You see what I'm saying? And
where does that come from at the end of the day, though? When I said it a long time ago, even with the Philly game last year, I said it. Where does that come from? Where does it fester from? It doesn't fester from Jason Garrett. Where does it fester from? It festers from the top. Because the
fish rot from the head down, right?
Exactly. It ain't Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is brought in because Jason Garrett can do those things to Jason Garrett at the end of the day, and we know that. I mean, we know why Jimmy Johnson. Well, I ain't trying to go to the 90s, but we know, and I'm not trying to bring it up, but we know. We all know that there's not a headstrong coach coming up in this piece. I don't know if it's coming soon. Parcells was, but honestly, did you really feel like Parcells was going to take us to a Super Bowl? I felt like Parcells was, when he came to us, said he was going to bring still.
Really interested to see one more year of Parcells.
I didn't believe Parcells was taking us to no damn Super Bowl. I believe Parcells was going to bring law and order. That's why he got Parcells to bring law and order, because
championship court for that team that had a window from 07
we had Quincy Porter. Vinny Testaverde. We're not winning nothing with them.
No. You're talking about the beginning. I'm talking about the end when Romo became the starter midway through his last year. That's why I said 2007. I would have really liked to see what he could have done. Wade Phillips got 13-3 out of that, and he was not. I've been fine if he was like the D coordinator, but
it should have been when he left. You know what it should have been for that time when Parcells left. It should have been Sean Payton as the coach. Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator, and Wade Phillips as the defensive coordinator. I think we would have been okay.
Wade Phillips was neutered before he even got here, man. They hired Jason Garrett, and not only did they hire him as offensive coordinator,
coach and
instead of letting the new instead of letting the new head coach, when you hired him, pick his thing. They're like, nope, whoever comes in, this is your guy. And by the way, I've already named him head coach in waiting. Like, that's insane. Jason Garrett was a quarterback coach for what, a year or two in Miami? Yeah, like, dude.
But what they were doing though. You know what Jerry Jones? Just my thought, just my theory of it is because Jason Garrett played for the Cowboys. Jason Garrett was behind Aikman. Jason Garrett was behind Emmett and Irvin, and Jason Garrett knows how to win because he's seen the formula, and that's why we're gonna bring him in. And we saw him do some coaching, and we just want to. This is just my opinion. Jerry Jones wanted to have his guy and say he did it his way. And that's what I'm going to keep on saying to the end is that Jerry Jones wants to go down and say, I brought in Jason Garrett and nobody believed in him and we won a Super Bowl and it was me that believed in him. It was me that stayed with him. And guess what? We did it.
At this
Yeah.
point, I wouldn't even give him credit if Jason won one. Like, sorry, if it took him a decade to
Man,
do it,
Jason
that's
Garrett,
not
I'm
like
sorry. Jason
if it took
Garrett
a
ain't winning shit.
decade of mediocrity and then he got lucky and won one. That doesn't mean Jerry gets credit for like, oh, I knew it the whole time. Like, man, he
Right.
probably could have rolled in. So how many different guys in here and won sooner?
But
It's frustrating when you got the talent. My bad, Law. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, when Barry Switzer won the Super Bowl,
Right.
a lot of people were saying that was still Jimmy Johnson's Super Bowl.
It was because it was what, a year later?
2 years because he
2 years.
he interrupted the three-peat.
Right, the 94.
Yep.
But they still got to the championship game, and that was just seemed like that was it was almost like the players coached the team. When you listen to Troy Aikman's story when they had on a Football Life, when you listen to Troy Aikman when he was going off on the sidelines and he was telling it we all know that classic when he's yelling at everybody saying it was freaking junior high football, and he's sitting over there talking to the coach and he said, "Hey man, it shouldn't be my job to be sitting here and getting these guys together. Where are the coaches? Why aren't the coaches doing this? This is the one of the best players on the team saying, I have to get these guys together." He personally was saying that he went over to Barry Switzer and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you yelling at these guys? Why aren't you getting them together?" He was like, "They're grown men. They know what to do."
Yep.
I mean, there it is right there. That tells you right there that he wasn't coaching. It was those players that we had so much damn talent. We just beat everybody. We were just better than everybody. But it wasn't no damn Barry Switzer that won no Super Bowl for the Cowboys. It was the players that won that.
Yeah.
There you go, man. So much truth to that. And there's a documentary out there too as well. Jimmy Johnson and Bill Belichick sitting on a boat. And Jimmy Johnson selling all the secrets to Bill Belichick. And he said, "Hey, when I draft players, I don't draft fools. You know what I'm saying? I get rid of all the foolish guys off my team." And I see that with that being said, I just miss the wisdom of Jimmy Johnson. And, he probably passed the torch on to Bill Belichick. But it just, man, I just don't have that supreme confidence in our team as far as coaching. Now, outside of that, can we will the team to win? Yes, you got Ezekiel Elliott. He's probably in the top 5 running back in the National Football League. If he plays with his mindset together, then he can be number 1. We can still get those yards that way. And then for sure Dak Prescott, he plays well within the system. He's not going to be a guy that's going to lead the league in touchdowns, nor will he be a guy that's going to lead the league in interceptions. He's going to be the guy that can really pretty much orchestrate and put everybody in the right positions. Hopefully down the line, because I listened to some Sirius satellite radio, NFL Network, I guess NFL 88 channel 88 today, and they're saying pretty much if you look at everything Dak Prescott did, his first 2 years are still better than a Peyton Manning. His first 2 years are still better than a not Tony Romo, but you can say that, but a Tom Brady. So not saying that Dak Prescott is the next Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. But what I'm saying is, if we can craft time around, he's not terrible as what we think he is. You see what I'm saying? Or what most of the collective minds out there in the fan base think he is. So I really think that this team, if we can just horn in and get away from all the distractions and focus around this young team pretty much on the offense, maybe we can do something this year. Maybe we can shake it loose.
Well, I hope and pray.
No doubt, man. So what's the next topic of the hour, man? Anybody have any other things on their mind?
Well, just right now, saying what's really on my mind, I ain't gonna lie, is Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory is on my mind every day, every night, because I'm excited. I'm not gonna, when we drafted him out of Nebraska, I was geeked. I knew the trouble. I knew the cost. When he had to fail drug test, I felt like, he probably not going to play for us, but I'm still going to keep hope alive. But when I watched him at Nebraska and we drafted him in the second round, I was super geeked because I felt like he was that missing piece of the defensive player that we needed. He had that bend. When you watch guys play and they're playing that defensive end position, that bend is what's so key. And when you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, and a lot of people have said that when you watch DeMarcus Lawrence, he doesn't have that bend, and he doesn't because he's big and built, but he's not like like lanky, like that Randy Gregory was. Like he can come up underneath you with that arm and just bend and get you. And man, when I saw him his rookie year, and I was just so, man, that Giants game, he was in that backfield. He wasn't getting sacks, but he was just getting back there. I was like, oh man, this dude's gonna be sweet. He got hurt, he could start smoking weed. I was like, man, but from what everybody's been saying, the backing that he's been having, I just really hope that he can play. And I think even after 2 years of him being off the field, I don't think he's going to come and get a 10-sack thing. But I think if he can get back on that field and he can play consistently, man, I'm telling you, he is going to make an element. He missed a whole damn year, came in that Philly game, 8 sacks, 8 tackles, 1 sack. I don't give a hell if it was backups. He still wrecked shop. And you were geeked up and excited and mad as hell when Roger Goodell resuspended him because you were like, no, because you were thinking, this is the guy we need. This is the guy we need.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, I got an update on the Malik Collins thing.
Talk to us.
So it is the 5th metatarsal in his left foot. The same foot he had surgery on 4 months ago to address a stress reaction. So he'll need another surgery. They do say, though, this is David Moore from Dallas Morning News. He does say that he should be able to work back into practice in August before camp is done.
Well, that's good.
That's back into practice. Yeah. So it wasn't a clean break. It was like one of those breaks where it's fractured and bones and some fragmented stuff like that.
Yep. And Terrell McClain has left the Star without a deal.
Okay. Well, so did Allen Hurns.
I know. I'm just saying. And Dallas has the cap space that they can win.
Yeah, I was just saying. I was just bouncing off you, DDP. Like I'm using that as optimism and hope.
Yep.
I'm looking at it as maybe he's like, you know what? I like y'all and I want to stay, but it's just like if we were going out for interviewing for a job. Hey, guess what? Y'all presented me something really nice, and I really like y'all. But you know what? I got a couple other jobs that I'm probably not going to go to them, but I just want to hear what they got to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Talking's free.
Talking is free, and it's not going to hurt. And so once I hear what they got to say, and I know, I knew I didn't want to go with you. All right, I'll be right back and come sign with y'all. That's what I'm hoping this happens right here.
Yep.
No doubt. Well, so, hey, it is what it is. So they're going to double dip on them. They're going to get them. They're going to get them. They're going to get them. They're gonna take that scoop of chip and they're gonna pull all of that cheese out.
There you go. I hope he shows out for you, Law. I hope he show out for you.
And then they're gonna do that. Then they might
he show his ass out for you.
They're gonna take that finger. They're gonna take that finger and do this around the bowl. I know why I'm looking. Damn, there's some good
nacho sound effects cheese. Of this stream without context of video is quite interesting in the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I love my team, man. I love my team.
Hey, did you see that picture I posted? That video I posted, Taco?
Nah.
Big as hell.
We got the lower body. Got the lower body together.
He got go look on the page when you get some time. He's got one of them shotgun things where you can like them super soaker big things. He got big, dog. He got big.
Good. He needed to.
That's what he needed to do. Like he's not that fast twitch athlete. He needed to get bigger and stronger because you can flex him at defensive tackle too. I think the only thing I worry about with Taco, and I'm just be honest, and I hate to say this because I like him. I know actually I don't know her, but I spoke with his mom a few times. My homeboy did the banners for him when he got drafted. My homeboy did the signs and banners for his family. So I got to speak a lot of things. I just feel like sometimes I think Taco's too nice of a guy. He just a nice guy, and I don't know if he has a nasty streak. And I want to see that this year because if he gets a nasty streak, I don't know if you get it because I think you're either a dog or you ain't. You can't make yourself a dog. You're either dog or you ain't. So I don't know if he can do that. But I need to see more of a mean streak from him because you have the size and the attributes, but I don't know if you have the meanness and the toughness to do what we need to do. And I think that's what bothers me, even though I want him to succeed so bad. I think that's the thing that sticks out of my head is he tough enough?
I heard him barking back at Charles Haley when he said that we was a bunch of damn losers. So I think he got a little bite to him. I mean, might not be one of them big old dogs like. Rrr, rrr. He might have one a little bit of small barks, but
a bark. Hey, I don't just bite. No, I don't want to give him a Chihuahua because
I'm
Chihuahuas
trying to
are
draw
wild.
back to the name, man. I'm reaching. You got to reach back. Meet me halfway.
I need a small dog that bites, man. What's a small dog that bites?
Ankle biter, man.
I think it's called Neural Thomas.
All right.
Miniature pit, man. What they call those little miniature pits, man? Or somebody in the chat box. I don't have my contacts on today, so I'm not able to read the chat box like I want
I
to.
can't read none of them. I'm so
man, I
sorry.
apologize, man.
I'm sorry. You should be giving these name shout outs, man.
Man, I can only predict who's in there. I think
Oh,
Ortiz.
wow.
I see Mike Cowboys
Your eyes
family.
is bad like mine.
Shout
man.
out to Jay Farm in the house. Shout out to you too as well, and Amos Wiggins.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Shout out.
What's
to
up,
y'all,
everybody?
man.
Sorry we ain't acknowledged. What's up, everybody? Glad for everybody tuning in like y'all do. We love y'all.
Quick and
Wiggle
see on
bells.
stage.
DDP got it.
So we got a couple hundred people, 211 people watching on Law's feed.
Damn, you was a beast, bruh.
I thought
211.
you about to say you got knocked up.
Yeah.
I thought you
It's
were
a
gonna do the.
motherfucking 211. We
thought you were
needed
gonna do that
cash. We robbed the liquor store.
All right, let's see here. Shout out Wiggle Bell. Shout out to Ninja Nuts.
Ninja.
Shout out to you. The coldest name on YouTube, fam.
Notice how I stopped down and didn't immediately give the next one. I wanted to let that set in.
Salute, man. Salute to you, man. That's a cold
Shout out.
name, boy.
Yeah.
Who else we
out
got
to
in there, man? Who else we got in
Tony
chat box,
Perry.
man?
We got, let's see, King West 2323, Ethan Rhodes, Eric Middleton. Let's see. Yeah. I'm just swiping
What's up,
through the whole
everybody? What's
thing.
up? 211 in the
Mike
box.
B.
What's up with y'all? It is like 11:49 where I'm at. It's almost midnight. He got 200 people up in here. Shout out to everybody up in here that's listening. We just talking Cowboy football.
Talking some Cowboys football. I know you guys love the football.
So hey,
Cowboys.
did you get to check out Law? Did you get to check out Cameron Kelly?
Man, I didn't have time. I was
Get
trying
on
to crunch.
him.
Hey, when I hit this send button for this Cedric Wilson, you guys got to know.
Oh,
this guy,
I'm already sharing him.
He got little legs,
But is he better than Thomas? St. Thomas?
Vach is letting us know he's disagreed with us so much throughout this stream.
That's okay. I don't care.
Vach,
I probably don't agree with a lot of what
Vach.
Vach says, but that's all right.
Skillet, Vach. I know Vach pro Garrett, man. Vach swinging like a prize fighter.
Vach love
man.
Garrett. Vach swing from the vine tree for Garrett. I
think
care.
Vach got a throwback 17 jersey, Garrett, baby. He got a Garrett, the throwback jersey. Vach,
that just means
it's
it's a Garrett, but it's a Garrett jersey. You're supposed to throw it back. You don't keep that.
I mean, hey.
Oh man, that's my coach, man. That's my coach. Man,
I'm reaching so hard and it's just not working.
Don't y'all know how bad I want us to look like fools that Jason Garrett win the Super Bowl this year? I want us to look so terrible right now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Sure. I want us to feel so terrible.
I'll say it now.
I can say I'm a fool. You can say whatever to me. I just don't believe it. And nobody's going to tell me different. I want to believe it, but I just don't. I mean, I just don't. Like when you see a duck, it's a duck. Like it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, like it quacks. It's a duck. And so I'm not going to believe something else. Like after 3 years, you know what that player is. Not after 7 years. Oh, he can do it now. No. If he didn't do it in freaking 6 years or 7 years, he's all of a sudden going to do it now. I mean, I need to see it. Like I'm done with the talking. So people can back him all they want, and I want to back him, and I want to love him and him get us over that hump. But man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? There's just too many times where our team fails, and I'm tired of seeing that crap. I'm tired of seeing us fail, and then there's always excuse of why it didn't happen. When I see other teams, they don't have excuses. And I don't want no excuses for us any longer. I see other teams who build a team who are terrible. They suck. Within 2 years, they get some players, put something together, and they're winning, and they're in playoff games consistently and getting championships or competing for those. We saw the Seattle Seahawks who sucked for so long. They got a good coach. They built up that damn team, and guess what? They are competing every damn year. And I don't care what anybody tells me. We need to be doing that every year because we have the talent. We've had the talent, and I'm tired of us falling short. I don't want to hear the excuses anymore.
No more excuses. Anybody else, man? Anybody else feeling the same way? Voch, man, do you want me to call you, bring you in so you can retort?
Oh, he probably gonna go ham on me, but that's all right. I'm gonna go ham right back.
No, because Voch, every time I tell whenever I invite Voch in, Voch says, "Man, Law, you always invite me in to fight with somebody, man."
It's all good. I'm ready. He got them gloves on. I know I'm Voch, dude. I got them back.
It's one of those things, man, where I'm sitting here saying, it was 2011. We were up against the Detroit Lions. You remember that game? And that Marvin Carpenter, man, looked like he was the white Ray Lewis. He looked like he was just
he ran that back for a touchdown. How about did a flip?
Oh man, I said, but we still gonna win though.
On his birthday?
On his birthday, man. I said, like, and it was another game.
Voch is on vacation playing God of War right now.
Oh man, he won. It was another game. Sam Shields, the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay.
Man, that brother I'm talking about the ball just somehow computer generated under his hands.
Not even that. They had Matt Flynn.
They had Matt Flynn. Oh my God, we was winning.
We were winning what, 27-3 or 27-6?
We win any
20. That's the Detroit game, right? When we were up 20, it was like 24-0.
It was two games that year that crushed us to death.
Both those games because I think we were up 27-6 against Green Bay, and I'll never forget when they came in at halftime. I kept telling myself, I said, this lead feels too good to be true. I'm worried that they're going to come back in that second half, and lo and behold, the first two plays, Eddie Lacy ran for that big run, and I said, "Yep, here we go again." Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that you thought, Lord, like, let's talk. Like,
no.
But as soon as he ran that big run and they scored that touchdown, what's the first thing that you thought? Here we go again.
Here we go again. I can go back recently. I can go back to 2016, the playoff game. The playoff game.
Coach. We say it every time. Here we go again.
Oh man, the playoff game. Green Bay just jumped out in front of us. I was like, damn, what is the team? Because remember, everybody was talking about the Green Bay DBs. Everybody was injured. They had a grandma out there in a wheelchair. Everybody was injured. And I said, I know we're going to beat Green Bay.
We're going to kick their ass.
We're going to kick their you know what I mean? Revenge. They came out guns a-blazing. I'm talking about that.
You know why? You know why?
Because
if you listen to McCarthy, he talks so much trash about Dallas. Watch him with his interviews. You know how he talks about us? He's always saying, you know what? We feel we can do whatever we want. Well, listen to his interviews when they play us. He is always saying we feel we can do whatever we want. We just stopping ourselves. He doesn't respect our team.
We haven't proven him wrong in the last several years.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why he talks about us like that, because he don't be – I mean, if you're a coach, I mean, I coach youth football. I mean, I didn't coach college or nothing like that, but it was on a good level, and the talent was good. But I know if I coached against somebody who wasn't good, I probably would talk that trash to him. Like, man, you know what? We're going to beat you. We just know what we're going to do. And if we did lose, it was because it was our fault, not because you were better than us. And I feel like that's how he talks to us. And I feel like that's when you listen to a lot of teams, the freaking Giants, freaking they always talk trash.
The Eagles talk so much.
They talk trash to us, man. They just be
Peterson
like
talking so much.
Man, they always talk trash to us. Like, I mean, it's disrespectful and pisses me off. Every team, even freaking Gruden's even talk trash to us. Like, you know what? We should have beat them. We beat ourselves. I get tired of hearing that crap. Like, these teams talk about us like that. Like, the only reason why they won is because we let it go. You know what I'm saying? And these teams just don't respect our coaching, man. And people who just keep backing them, it's like these coaches don't even respect the coaches.
Man, I just want my coach one time to say, you know, put the camera in his face and say,
I'm tired of this shit. That's what I want him to say.
We're gonna beat the Eagles. We're gonna beat the hell out of them.
Right.
Who that?
Dwayne Porter.
He says we don't have to fear we don't have a fear defense. And
we still don't have one.
I can't say, and we still don't have one. Okay, I don't have a contact in. So, yeah.
I was shouting out for him supporting the nation.
Thank you, man, for making the donation. Thanks for making the donation to help grow the nation. You know how it goes when you guys make the donation. I got to get this move on, the groove on. But anyway, we don't have a defense that make people tremble. That's basically what he said in the excerpt under the donation. Pretty much so. we don't. We don't have nobody that we can say, oh man, we playing Dallas this week, and we got to come ready. We got to be ready because you know for sure. And that's why I've said if you get D-Law to play aggressive and be ready every game, and you have David Irvin to not stay off whatever the I guess the extra steroids or whatever he was taking to get himself ready, PEDs. If he can get himself ready, and maybe we have a fear defense. Maybe, I don't know. What you guys think?
I think our defensive line is certainly qualifies for that. Our secondary is getting better, but our defensive line between Irving and D-Law and everything, you add in then some of these other moves that they've made. I think it's a stout defensive line for sure. Maybe not yet quite at the level of feared, but if they can kind of build a little bit even on what they were last year, I think absolutely they would qualify as a feared defensive line.
We are a finesse defensive front line. And when you finesse, you can have your guys streaming off the edges, and then what the quarterback can do, politely just step up into the pocket, make his throws. Step up to his pocket, make his throws. And that's all he have to do. And we don't have nobody that's in the interior that can collapse the pocket, break down the pocket, and have the quarterback to run out versus him casually running out, having his enough time to run out the pocket and make those throws. Of course, we have D-Law that can seal the edge off and things like that. But to me, we just so finesse in a sense that we never have that feared up front four package where we just making everybody tremble at their feet. We don't have that.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting to see if Gregory gets reinstated, what that brings to it, because I mean he's got all the ability in the world.
He does, man. He does. So hey, it is what it is. Tyrone Crawford is. Somebody said Tyrone Crawford is.
Well, I mean, like I said, I just be frustrated because I love my team so damn much. And it's just frustrating because we got the talent. I mean, we had a good draft. Like you talked about Cedric Wilson. He's a good player. We also got, the Schultz kid. I really like the Schultz kid. I think we won with Connor Williams. I think that was a great addition. I think Vander Esch might, I have my concerns, but I think he'll be a good player. I think it was a good draft as a whole. We got guys from last year, Marquez White, which I was talking about, Duke Thomas. In the secondary, we got a good young secondary. Linebackers are pretty decent. Front lines, decent. I mean, it's nobody in the NFC, no matter what the Eagles say. I'm not scared of the Eagles. Like, they're just going to run through the NFL or the NFC for the next 3 or 4 years. That's not the damn case. They could fall flat on their face, too. There's nobody dominant in the NFC right now to me. It's still a lot of teams that could jump right up in there and go from worst to first or from bad to good or good to bad. It can happen. That's the way the topsy-turvy NFL is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not believing the Eagles are the end of all anymore. You get what I mean? Indeed. So we still have the team in place to still make a run. And I'm tired of the talking. I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but I'm just on that today. We have the players to do this. Mm-hmm. We have the players to do this.
And we do.
Let's do it. Stop the dumb talk and make it happen. And if it doesn't happen this year, Stephen Jones, then make a move. Like Scarface told him when they was at the helicopter when he killed his boy, he said, hey, Sosa, make a move.
Make a move. We getting all type of movie references here tonight. But hey, how long we been running DDP?
Oh, it's about
an hour, 10 minutes.
Hour, 10 minutes. So I'd never, and I promise you guys, I'd never want to end on a sour note or a negative note. There is some positive things out there. I do know that right now everybody casting us out, even us talking about the coaching staff and things like that. Guys, when it's the down season for the Cowboys, it's an even season right now. So we know what
we're gonna have a good year.
We're gonna have a good year. And when everybody doubting us, we're gonna have a good year. Some people can say this delusional punch right here, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I heard that Sean Lee was saying that he evaluated LVE's tape himself. And he had some positive things, some very positive things. Hopefully I can go pull that interview and I can put it out there for everybody can hear and see. And he said that this guy's cerebral. His guys are smart. He flies out to the ball. There's a few things that he will work on LVE with. But overall, He loved his skill set. He loved his ability to cover out in space. He loved his frame, his size. He was pretty much saying that, hell, he wished he was his size, basically. And we have a positive spin to things because one thing I do know for sure, LVE is in the playbook because he's in there with Sean Lee. These guys are going to know this defense like the back of their hand. So what we need to do now is just, we know that Sean Lee is not going to play for another 5 years. We understand that. But if Sean Lee can transplant his mind, his body, his soul, his spirit, his temperament out there on the field to LVE, then guess what? We might have a better product out there too as well. And then also if the Dallas Cowboys team can figure out a way to impress and to, I guess, to improve this front four line by putting a big hog or somebody out there to help out the linebackers, maybe we see something different. But we do have a Chris Richards. We know that what he's going to bring out there to the team. And with all that being said, I'm telling you guys, we will make it far this year. And it's going to happen. It's just that only thing that my only reservation is altogether is just slightly the coaching staff making adjustments. But who knows? Maybe we can hit that run late in the season. Maybe we can host this Lombardi Trophy before it's over with. Anybody else have any closing remarks? DDP, what else you have, man? Tell them where they can find you at then, because
all right, yeah,
it's late. It's getting late.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So you can find me and all my articles, podcasts, all that at the DallasProspect.com. Also have a collection of other contributors there: Law Nation, Big Game James. As we mentioned earlier, Big Game James has a new article out on the website on Kayvon Frazier.
Check it out. You'll like it.
Yeah, man, it's legit.
DDP is good with it too. He's my editor. He's a beast.
Editor-in-chief.
Editor-in-chief. So, Big Game James, tell them everything, man. Tell them where they can find you at. Tell them all about everything that is good and nice and sugar and spice, all that good stuff.
Sugar and spice. Well, hey, like I said, if you didn't see it in the beginning, check us out. We're on Facebook right now. That's where we're really popping. We're going to try to open that YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube, Silver and Blue Nation. That's where we really rock. You can check us out every Sunday, 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Central Time. Facebook Live, cool interjection, big time interjection. We talking all Cowboys football. We shout out all the names, where you're from, call in. We talking hot topics, and we just try to be raw and uncut. And then you can also go on my Big Game James page. I don't really talk too much on that page as far as live stuff, because I don't really like having my face all up on the camera all like that all the time. Just me. I like just kind of talking, behind the scenes. So you can check out that page. Jump on there, please. We talk whatever. You can say whatever on that page. Just don't disrespect me. I'll block you. But yeah, we just kind of keep it raw. We keep it uncut. Talk about whatever. We just talking Cowboys football and try to have fun. You know what I'm saying? So, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Silver and Blue Nation. Like I said, check us out, Big Game James. We're just trying to have fun, Cowboys football, and I love all y'all for any kind of support that y'all have done for us and in the future. I appreciate everybody.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to for Dewan, man, for making the donation, man. Every dollar count. Also, shout out to Vox Lombardi, always on the ones and twos, regulating everything in the chat box. And for those who follow the channel for a long time, man, Wiggle Bell, shout out to you too as well. Italian Cowboy.
Italian Cowboy, what's
Italian
up?
Cowboy, yeah.
What's up, Italian Cowboy?
Yes, indeed. And my guy, Ninja Nuts, baby. Let's get it going. Let's be finna roll up out of here. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out. Peace.
Every legend was once a prospect.
Amen.